Okay, so we're going to finish up with this segment because I want to get going this morning. I was going to say, additionally, between the we've neglected what I had called the magic circle. The magic circle is, and this is a digression. You can let this go in one ear and out the other if you're trying to struggle to understand these going up in fifths, down in fourths, over in fifths, over in fourths in string shapes. I want to just digress for a second and talk about the magic circle is the string circle backwards. And the interesting thing about the magic circle is if you start a, let's say, start an E shape, a C shape here on the second string, the magic circle tells you what shape it's going to be. So if you start a C shape on the second string, it's going to go to an E shape. That's what the magic circle does. It's kind of backwards from the string circle, and that's not the subject of this particular. But it is an important thing that should have added with this chart. So I'm really coming down to: am I going to teach this, completely, or am I going to be late for my appointment? Something like that. So just keep in mind that let's look at it up here. Let's say we wanted to start this E shape here from the second string. All right, so it would be up here in the A shape. So where the E shape starts on the E shape, to start it on the second string, it would become an A shape. And you look at that, it's the magic circle backwards. You see how it's the string circle backwards. See how it's going counterclockwise? So that's what, so E goes to A in fourths. So in other words, let's look at another one. Here's 5, 6, easy. We want to start 5, 6 from the A shape because the A shape is the 5, 6 right there. All right, because E becomes the fifth in the A in the original open string A. E becomes the fifth there. That's why the A shape is 5, 6. All right, so if we start a 5, 6 in the A shape, all we have to do is, and to go to the second string, we go a fourth up from the A shape. The fourth of A is D. So all we have to do is go to the D box and we find our 5, 6 there. That is the magic circle. And I haven't, so that's another way to navigate. You just take your shape, and this would be the whole shape. It would be the whole shape. So it wouldn't just be the 5, 6. So let's say you got your 5, 6 in the key of C. Okay, and you want to play that A shape from the third string. Okay, so I just find the 5, 6 on the third string right here. I can find it because I can find it. But on the third string, that's 2 strings away. So from the A, it's going to be to the G box right there. See, 1, 2, because we're going backwards on the string circle as forwards on the magic circle. So it's going to be in the G box right next door, wasn't it? It's right there. Now watch this. I'm going to play an A shape starting from the third string, and it's going to become a G shape. That's the magic. Here we go. Got to warp it up. Warps right into a G shape. Started out in A shape here. But I had to warp it up, and it warped up into a G shape. That's another way to navigate. But let's talk about this diagram as it's written, which has other really important stuff. Now we know any one of these can be a fretboard. It has to be drawn in an unwarped fashion so that it can cover all of the 5 shapes. So it must be drawn the way it is, unwarped, because we never know where that tuning warp's going to be. We could start on any one of these 5 scale numbers or shapes. We could start on the C, the G, the D, the A, or the E. So that's why we can't draw the tuning warp in it yet. Going to the right, we go in fifths, but fifths in shapes. Going up, we go in fifths. That doesn't mean that the 3-note key of C goes to the 6-note A. E goes to A. That's a fourth. But we're talking about in the shapes. The string shape of C goes to the string shape of G to the next string. That's a fifth away. So that's where that fifth comes from. Okay, and so we've got fifths this way. So we're talking about entire string shapes here, right? So we're starting here with the C shape goes up to here. This is just one shape away right there. That's it, C to G. See, we're not seeing a whole lot of horizontal information there, or we'd have to draw this gigantic thing, you know? It'd be like the monster guitar. But it would still be like unwarped. So, you know, it still wouldn't be what you need it to be, you know, unless you could like computer warp it. And we can't do that. You do it with some graphics, but you can't do it with a real guitar, because you'd have to change the tuning at certain intervals. So let's continue on here. Now we have to analyze. So we have the fifths and the fourths in the string circle. Now let's look at caged, and it happens to be easier because we're almost done with the lesson. So it's easier to look over here. Let me get rid of the drawing tool. See, it didn't. My keyboard is rocking back and forth. That's why it didn't register my. So right here we got the cage connectivity diagram. We don't have time to do the S3XL down here and all that stuff. This right here just shows you how things would go. You wouldn't really want to go from a C to an A up to there, because there's no way to really count it. 3, 4, 5. You're going the same thing. You're kind of taking a step backwards. You know, one step backwards, no steps forwards there. So that's not very helpful, but this is. So right here we see string connectivity. Remember, ignore this. This goes away. This goes away. We're not looking at that. We're looking at this right here. String connectivity. So we have the same diagram here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root. But we got a little bit more horizontal here. This is your C cage, this is your A shape, this is your D string shape. They go in fifths, C, G to D. You go in fifths going up, C, G, D. But now we're going to add in the cage shapes in between. So in between our C and our E, in between our C and our G shape, we have our A shape. And then the fifth of A is E. So the cage shapes go, that's how they go. So that's how that's all set up. And so this is how you do connectivity with caged. Okay, you're not going in fifths or fourths. G going to C would be the fourth going that way. Remember, caged going to the left goes up a pentatonic scale, so that A would go to D. Now that doesn't sound right. Alright, so in caged, we got A goes to C, up a pentatonic scale. C goes to D, up a pentatonic scale. D goes to E. So we've got kind of like, you know, we've got kind of like a crooked path here to follow. Okay, so we got G to A, and then we got A to C, and then we got C to D, and then we got D to E shape, and then we got, you know, that kind of thing. So we got this crooked path to follow with cage. So that's the cage connectivity, and that can be witnessed up here. So we have, here's our in fourth and fifth, fourth and fifth, and here's our cage connectivity up here, where we got C goes to A goes to G, and G goes to E, etc., etc., C, A, G, E, D. So that's all we got time for. Thanks for watching, and click the link below if you want to apply to join the Facebook group, and we'll see you next time. And thanks for watching. You've helped me, and I hope I helped you.